So thank you for that example. Can you say more about what you've done to track your mood? Like, how did you specifically go about doing that?
Yeah, I have a separate Google Calendar where every day of the week I track how many drinks that I've had that day, how much exercise I've done, and then how many hours of sleep I've gotten the night before. So I can kind of flag if there's like a week where I've kind of drinking like more than 2 drinks every night and I haven't exercised at all and I haven't really been sleeping and I'm feeling off, then it's an easy signal for me to be like, oh, okay, I might be going into a mood shift. And also, um, I need to stop drinking. I need to start sleeping more, and I need to start exercising to get myself back into like a normal and healthy pattern.
That's great. Do you ever have trouble keeping up with that tracking or have any like resistance to the behavior change once you track?
Yeah, I feel like it's almost when I'm in a fine mood and things are going well, it almost doesn't seem necessary to track. So I throw it out the window. And then it's more, I feel like when I'm not feeling well, I'll be like, oh my God, wait, what have I been doing the past week? And then I'll go back and try and do that. So yeah, just making it a habit and doing even when I'm feeling fine and being healthy and just creating the habit of doing that every day has been helpful.
That's a really great point. So some people struggle more tracking when they're down or when they're really anxious because somehow by putting words to it, it makes it feel more real or people get afraid of what it means. The other version of this is difficulty tracking when you're feeling well for the reasons that you just described. So in both cases, if you think about it as courageous and challenging, and just because you're just writing it down doesn't mean it isn't challenging in and of itself. The cliche term of like starting is half the battle is really relevant here because anything that you have to bring something into your self-awareness to accept that it's occurring and then do something to change it. So by tracking, you're bringing your more self-awareness to the process, and then you actually have a chance at understanding it and changing it. Have you noticed change over time, Nicole?
Yeah, I would also say that I think like tracking things has become more normalized. Like I feel like there are all these apps to track how far you've worked out. And at least I have coworkers who do track like how many drinks they've had every night of the week. So it feels like almost in talking about it, I feel like I was surprised to see like, oh, it seems like a normal thing people do to track how often they're exercising, how much they're drinking. So I think even just talking about it and being like, yeah, I don't feel so great after I have like 3 drinks and no exercise has been helpful too.
Yeah, that's great. And you can also add in any other feature that might be related to your mental health. So if it's relevant, you could add in how much anxiety that you're having that day on a scale of 0 to 10. You could track your mood from -10 to +10 if your moods go, under a baseline and over a baseline of 0.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I actually added that to mine where I started to do like a mood every day. And I think I used the scale that you were talking about from like -10 to 10. So then it was even more helpful to see like, oh, this week I drank a lot and didn't sleep. And like my mood was like -5. Like, I wonder what would happen if maybe I like got some good sleep. And then I often just see it reset.
Yeah, that's a great example. Thank you for sharing that. And can you say more about how things changed over time since you've been tracking?
It's definitely easier to see, I guess, the correlation between like all 3 of those things and my mood. So like alcohol, sleep, and exercise. So I think it just brings like more awareness, one, to when like moods are up or down, and it makes it feel more controllable. Um, and I feel like I can flag it to myself earlier to be like, oh, wait, I've done this thing 3 days in a row. Like if I don't change it now, I might not feel well in like the next day or 2.